Hello, good morning, and welcome to Floramancer. I hope everyone is well. I have been standing here pretty inefficiently trying to dump some of these levels, which I'll explain where I got all 114 levels. Yeah. I have spent a lot of time in this world this week, a lot more than usual, doing some creative building and doing some work. So a lot of this stream is probably going to be prep for finally getting to the Earth Rune. I didn't cheat them in. I definitely don't need that much XP. I'll show you in a bit. But hi, Darkwing. Nice to see you. Anyway, I had 120 when I started this 20 minutes ago, and obviously because I'm near the mob farm, I'm picking up XP. And this is always full. It's just, yeah, I need to set up a dumping station, which I haven't done. But as you can see, as I fly up, you can see there's a lot more going on in this base right now. A lot more. Yeah, so we're gonna start with the obvious. You can see there are little, let me come up here to the spire at the top. There are little stations. We first just had platforms and I built in some stations, and if you look at them, you can see I have rune pixel art on them. This is Earth and Summer, Autumn, this is Autumn and Fire, Water and Spring, and then behind the tree here is Air, and then Winter. Yep.
Don't be afraid.
So we've got the locations for the starting of our runes. I crafted all the runic altars, so they're all just sitting there waiting for us to automate. And then, of course, I do have to figure out where in the world to put the other 8 rune pads. But they'll be, they'll be around somewhere. Just, I'm not sure where yet. But that's where those are going to be to get started. I have also begun to start closing this in. So we went up a little bit further. And I have an additional cap I'm working on. So we've got here, the original opening was in that space there, and then I've built it up a little bit further. I do need to finish the roof. There's still no roof. But now, we have a mana battery in here. This is going to be a very busy building using a lot of mana, so I decided it needed another battery. So underneath of it is a mana tablet distribution system that fills this up, and it goes to, there'll be 4. This one's not hooked up yet, but there's one here and one there. Pools with tinkers on them to send them to the appropriate areas. This is where I've been getting all my XP. This I have had running since we set up last week's mana tablet system to try to consume some mana, because I was just building a huge supply. I had a Rosa Arcana here, but it's not automatically replaced, and I'm out of mana pearls really, so doing some more is going to be we'll have to go to the end, that sort of deal. But if you can just stand here and pick up XP. See, now I have 133. Yeah, so that's how I've got my XP. But I've also arranged a drawer controller that's hooked up to Corporea, and it's got all of our lovely setup here. The ores are getting put up here, which are going into 2 furnaces that have a bunch of exoflames on them. So I know there's probably a more efficient setup for this. I realize that. But this is what I've got at the moment, and it makes me happy. So that to me is all that matters right now. But the other thing that I've done, I didn't think you needed to watch me make more smoothstone generators, so I made 2 more smoothstone generators here, and these use weight lenses instead of bore lenses to harvest the blocks, so that we didn't have to process them a second time. So let me explain to you what we got here. We have a Marimorphosis, which this is the one that gives you the metamorphic stones. I didn't want to have to process them from cobble into stone, and we need a metamorphic stone for a rune. So we'll be using metamorphic plains because this is the one we get the most of in this biome, but we do get all the others in small varieties. And so that is the way this is working. We've got it so that this is the exact same setup you've seen before. It pushes it over. Instead of using a bore lens, the observer detects the block there and sends redstone into the pulse mana spreaders that have weight lenses on them. They fall on half slabs, which breaks the block. Bob's your uncle. There you go. And I have a bergamot to kind of make it a little bit quieter over here. And the same setup is over here. This is our orchid Petrum. It takes plain stone and converts it into a bunch of miscellaneous blocks. I need to remove this one. I had it, when I first made it, I had the orchid Petrum where the bergamot is, or I had it moved down too far, and so this block here stayed stone always. It never was anything but stone. And so I was like, oh, I guess it produces stone. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I could have it moved down so that we always have stone, because it would produce one each cycle. But I'd rather have the cobble works producing stone, and yes, that does mean I have to smelt cobble to get this instead of just using a weight lens, but that's what I'd prefer to do. So this will, I won't need that. And apparently I miscounted, and I've got, so there's 2 that are empty, so we'll need to remove that. But this is all the blocks that the orchid Petrum produces, and this happens to be the one that we're most interested in right now. Netherrack. Doesn't produce a ton, so I'm not quite so sure if it's going to produce enough, but I also think we can dupe netherrack. Yes, so I'm not super concerned. This will be our primary source. Duping it will be our secondary source. So yeah, but we also get sand and gravel in little small amounts and all these other lovely building blocks. You know, red sand that we've been using for timers and whatnot. So these are running. These are constantly running. Again, just because we really needed mana consumers running, or we were just going to be building up a huge supply of mana. We need to get this converted over to Corporea at some point soon. Maybe working on it today, but it's not on my list. I have a list. The openings haven't been finished. I need to do those yet. But I did close off this. It's just a mana glass wall because XP and items was falling outside of the water flow. And the water flow is simply in there to push the XP that direction toward the flower. So yeah. That's the only purpose of that, because the Hopper Hawk can reach everything in this range. But yeah. Alright, so we have some new trees. I have the Quark Blossom trees, and I actually wanted them so badly that I've got them decorative in the base too. One here and one on the other side. The other Quark trees are these swamp trees. There's no space for this to grow, so there's swamp oaks. I don't remember what they look like. So we'll have to make more space just so I can see what they look like. Eventually this won't just be a line of trees anyway. This is just my janky tree farm until we have better farms for things. You know, I took down the too tall petal flower farm because we have this running all of the time. So we don't need petals anymore manually crafting. So I took it down and put the bone meal in a drawer because we had a bunch of it, and chucked all the blocks that we needed to keep all the redstone. We need to restock these so bad. So bad. But that is what I've done here. If you notice, I've done a bit of cosmetic changes. I added an additional rim of some polished limestone by Quark. I really like that. And then I've got some earthworks cob slabs in here just for a variation in texture. And it's just in these two, this one here and the one over there. So that's yeah. Just doing some change. And I've got these diagonal lines leading toward the rune crafting. I haven't decided if I'm going to make these pathways like these, or if I'm going to just have them decorative. They're not going to be just these star pattern blocks. Yeah. But for now, this is just the plan that eventually something might go here. I added some supports for these walkways. That is definitely not sturdy enough, but I really got tired of seeing them just floating there. Yeah, so I did that. Made a bunch of Rosa Arcanas. I think I made about 7 or 8. I don't think we have that many now. And then I also did another stack of Thermalilies. So we've got Thermalilies running. I have done another half of this farm, but I've also done a lot more to this farm. At the top, we have a mana tablet distribution center, placing mana into a mana pool, and this is what will give mana to the farm. It comes down, and there on each layer, there's a ton of mana pools on each layer. And the big thing is I made like, I want to say 24 aggro carnations, and let me tell you, those spring runes were, I can't wait till we have all the resources to automate those. But currently I have 1 in each row. So, and they're paired with these pools here, and so those are helping these grow nice and fast. And yeah, you can see the mana just pouring into the pools from the aggro carnations being used. So I don't have any on this section, but because the roses are directly under there, they are, you can see the sparkles, they are hitting this layer. So we have that. I don't have these set up yet because I don't have all the resources I need to put everything on this side. And this is all wheat, whereas down below I have wheat and potatoes alternating, so they'll grow a little faster. All right. And sometimes potatoes fall in these pools, so I actually have a little thing that's picking them up, just incidental. But yeah, so we've got 30 stacks of seeds and 53 stacks of wheat, which we could always convert into seeds if we need it. And that's just current. So with that, I raised my Drums of the Wild all the way up to the top. I believe that's as tall as I'm going to need to make it. Remember, we can do 35 Drums of the Wild in a row with the Messenger Phantom Lens. I think this is 30. Because I think this is 30. But anyway, I think that's about as tall as the farm is going to get with just the one Hopper Hawk setup, which are these two here. Hooked up to the red string container, which reaches the drawer controller here. I probably will move the drawer controller down since it's on the second layer. But this was a lot of work. This layer is going to be our netherwort farm, this side here. I don't know if I need this much netherwort, or if like 3 is plenty. So I'm trying to decide before I finish it, because I could do netherwort and either beets or carrots, or maybe carrots and beets on these. Too much is rarely a bad thing. You're not wrong, and my whole focus with this playthrough, of course, is to try to make huge amounts of things so that I'm not constantly running out like I was my first season. So yeah, you're not wrong. I added a couple more aggro carnations over here. And before we can do the other 2 pads of Endo Flames, not only do we need to make sure we get enough seeds and flowers being produced, but we need enough charcoal blocks, right? Well, I think we're going to need more trees. to do more to build up the charcoal blocks, because it's been hovering right around 56, 57 all week every time I check it. So we're right about at, you know, holding steady. Would not be hard to expand this. If you think about it, I would probably want to move this tree over a little bit, and I could put another tree here. And if you go down here, we could just do another mana spreader setup on the other side of these mana pools. So we'd have the force relay set up here, and so we could have another tree there. So we would be able to put 4 trees here without needing to expand the pad or the furnace array or anything. We wouldn't need to change a thing. Just put 2 here. This site is going to be where our tree farm, our circular tree farm, is going to go. That will be for wood and the munch stew eventually. So that's where we're at. I think that's everything I've done. It's a lot, so I didn't make a list. I just like, let's do this today. I do have 2 more of the thermal lilies running. It must be out of sync. This one might need to be dropping shortly. It'll get into sync. Not worried. But I've also done a platform up here. This is going to be what I'm calling the wall farms. This is going to be sugarcane, pumpkins, and melons. Things that we can do vertical farms for. These are straight vanilla. They're not going to be like mana breaking them or anything. Just using hopper hawks to pick it up. It's going to need some mana over here just simply to run the hopper hawk, and that's it. So yeah, we'll have to do a mana distribution to get, this is where the hopper hawk's going to go. It has a 21 by 21 by 21 range, so you can see I made little corners with the torches. That is my square, and if I put it somewhere in this space here, I could make a wall that has farming spaces that are within the 21 by 21 area. This could be a tall box full of farms. So that's the plan, is to put those 3 farms here. I do not think I'm going to need more than that. If I do, I'll make a second box, I guess. 'Cause I'm just trying to think. That's a lot. That it's just, it feels like a lot. I mean, granted, I've seen Impulse SV on Hermitcraft, and his giant walls of farms are really big walls of farms. Sugarcane, we are going to need a lot of. A lot. We're going to need a piece of sugar for every single rune we craft, because we're going to use that for mana powder. We need sugar cane in the water rune. We need sugar for fermented spider eyes, which goes in, which rune is that? Is that the autumn rune? I think it's the autumn rune. And yeah, so we're gonna need sugar for cake. So maybe I will need more than 1 wall of sugar. We could be crazy and do this entire farm of sugar. We could try to maximize our space and do rows. Maybe we'll have to do this in creative first and figure this out. What do you say? Maybe we will. So that we don't need a giant open hole here, so that we like walk in and see the walls. If we did columns, we might be able to fit more farming space than doing 3 walls around the center. So yeah, we'll have to figure that out. That is on our to-do list for today, is figuring out mana powder, automating Manasteel. Those two are first, and then we can get into doing the earth rune over here. I haven't looked at my setup from season 1 very in depth to remember what we need to do or how I had it set up. So we're going to be probably poking at it when we get to it. And but this is where the earth rune is going. The majority of the mechanics I'm going to see if I can fit back here in this little circular area. I would like to cover the back up so you don't see it, but I don't know. So we have this kind of a space back here, and that's the goal. If I can't fit everything I need to back there, because I don't have to, some of it is wireless redstone, I will probably make a layer underneath here and have the redstone in each corner for that stuff, the wireless redstone that doesn't have to be accessible. So yeah. Are we caught up yet? So let's see. The easiest thing to start with, very likely, I'm thinking here, is probably Manasteel, and then we'll go into creative and do the sugarcane farm, see how much farming space we can squeeze into a 1 hopper hawk space. I could totally use more than 1 hopper hawk, but 1 hopper hawk is plenty. So this is where we're going to have our automated, a lot of our alchemy catalyst and what's the other catalyst's name? For crying out loud. The duping one. Conjuration catalyst. That's where this stuff is going to go. The mana transformations, transmutations, all that's going to go in this building. There's plenty of space. So we have this whole hall, you know, and the only other flower that I need to get set up is the orchid tarum. And we don't necessarily need it because the farm that I used in season 1 just relied on vanilla grass spread mechanics. So that could totally be used again for mycelium, grass, and Botania's dry grass. Which the dry grass I don't think spreads, but what I had was any Botania grass turns into dry grass when you use a weight lens on it. So I just had any of the Botania grass for spread. So yeah, we'll have space for that in here, even with the other stuff going on. I don't know where exactly, but yeah. I would like to start the process of the auto crafting with mana first, and I'm trying to figure out where I want to put it. How many things can you, a lot, I realize, but let's see. This way, if we do uses of the mana pool, is it going to, let's take a look. Don't need any of the flowers, won't need any to do of those things. Definitely gonna mean to do those, but they're different in the crafting. Won't need to do that. Might need to do, depending on how our seeds are in a deficit, we might have to do some of these catalyst changes for that. But if we're just doing like this, for example, how many of these are there? don't remember. Anyway, let's place these down. I know I need to fill some of these up. We need some red string containers and some corporea sparks. So the red string containers, what's the range, guys? Let's look it up. Six. No, we can place 8 blocks in line, straight line with 8 blocks. So I'm trying to, if you remember my last stream, my last playthrough, we had blocks every single, we had mana pools for every single transmutation, every single conjuration, every single alchemy change. We had a mana pool. I want to reduce that this time by doing a mana pool. Don't even have mana pools here. Okay. So we'd have a mana pool with a, I don't have one on me, but let's pretend. Pretend with me until we make the blocks. With an open crate, okay? And then off to each side would be the red string containers, up to 8 of them on each side, pointing into it. And it just drops things, and then we just have one hopper hawk instead of one for every 2 that I had, picking up and putting things into an array like this. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do this time. So if it can connect 8 away, we know how big we're gonna be able to make each one of these, right? Let's see. If we start here on this side, we're gonna need the space behind it for any of the redstone. I don't think we need a ton, but if we started it so it was just along this line here, this was going to be our wall, I think that's enough space. So now the first question is, that might help. We put the mana pool on top of a block. Okay, 1, 2, let's see. Let's pretend that there's not going to be 1 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's where the mana pool is going to go. And I'm probably going to use a different block, but that's just what we have at the moment. Let us make a open crate. And get that in place. Goes there. All right. Don't need some creeper spawning in here. That would be disaster. And for red string, we need chests. I don't think I have any wood. Oh, I do have wood. Great. All right, let's craft some. All right. Now, the way our automation is set up is a lot like this. It needs a space between it so that the redstone doesn't connect. So we're going to do that. Just need some disposable blocks here, and I don't have my rod. Where do I have? Oh, it's in. Oh, I have a bunch of garbage in my ender chest. What the heck? Why did I? Well, good to know there's a bunch of garbage in my ender chest. So we have a We have a garbage wand that we could use. Okay. All right. So the first one will be here. And then we just stagger it. I suppose it'd be nice to have one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's too far. That one can't reach, can it? Oh, it says it's reaching. Alright, well then, that's fine. We're good with that. You. Alright, that's fine. So, to do living, or to do Manasteel, we need a corporeal funnel. Do we have any? We do. We're almost out of sparks, though. I keep saying that. We don't have any item frames either. So do here. And let's get some supplies. Let's grab you so we can fill you up. Alright, so we need... Do I have any sticks here? So low on some things and so high. That's all the ender pearls we have, by the way. We will have to go to the end if we need them. And we need to set this up with Corporea too. But I know I have sticks in here. Alright. Oh, but I need to grab stuff for leather too. There we go. Item frames. How are we doing on tablets? Oh good, we're still gaining. When I first started this morning, that number was 68. So we are still gaining, even though I have all of that stuff running. Yeah. All right. Let's do a stack of you, perhaps? Do I have enough to do a stack? Probably not. That's still quite a few. So you can go you into there. I can't do it like that. There it goes. And then we need some corporeal sparks, which means we need regular sparks. And we probably need more blaze rods. We're okay. We've got 14 in there, and that's it. There's some petals. We'll use those petals. And we'll make some. Got 34 out of that. Alright. Pixie dust, ender air. Let's make some more pixie dust. We'll grab you. So has everyone's week gone? Are we good? Is our week going well? It's been okay, but see, you've got those dots after it. It's being okay. Dot dot dot.
So they're aware of what they're doing and they're making conscious choices.
Alright, so I want you. Oh, that isn't a good week, Darkwing. I'm so sorry to hear that. I might need you. What?
I don't have a lot of patience for people who feel like they're downloading from the
All right.
You know, just let that's how
We have a couple more things now. We do need to put a spark on you with a dominant augment. I got all these augments from tearing down our spaghetti that we had under the base. I do not think it's close enough. Yeah, we need to put a spark tinker doodad up there.
when you don't want to change it because you don't know how.
Don't have a spark tinker on me, but I know I have one in that chest we were just in over there. So we'll have to go back over there and get that. I need an item frame from you. And that's gonna go there, and it'll have a piece of iron in it. A piece of iron. Don't need anything spawning in here. All right, so the next plan is a crystal cube and an hourglass, and we're going to set it up so that that hourglass will tick to request iron, but it'll stop being able to request when it's reached a certain amount via the crystal cube. Okay, and the hopper hawk, we're going to need to get another controller made, but let's see here. This is going to be the... I'm wondering if it's in range, actually, since this is be where it 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. No, it's off by a couple because it's up here. I wonder if I can relocate you. Now that everything moves toward this spot, it doesn't need to be reach that far out. I wonder. I mean, why don't I try, right? Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Darkwing. That's gotta be really rough. Let's see. Right there, that's where the hopper hawk would need to go to be able to reach that pool and one around it in case they fall around it. Hello, Anima! And if we keep in mind that we're also have the potential of doing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 more this way, by the way. That ends up being. Alright, so right now my challenge is... Let's move you. Can I pick you up? I can. If I do the controller here... You have... Where are you getting your mana from? I haven't the foggiest idea where it's getting its mana from. Is that close enough? Anyway. So we have the Corporeal Spark on there. I think what I might do... Not turn these. Let's pick them up and move them to this side. And that's how that's connected. I'll have to move it. Let's leave it. And we're gonna do these guys there, and I need another piece, some trim to connect. Do I happen to have any? Nope, so we need to go fetch some trim. And we need to do it soon because it's not picking anything up right now. Do I have any? No, but we should be able to make some. I believe it's just sticks and wood. Yep, okay. Pop it back here, and everything's connected. And are you close enough to be picking stuff up? That's looking like a no. So putting it there still means I have the issue of it not reaching from here. What is the range of that? Let's see. To get to that spot right there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's the furthest for that. That should... Where's my monocle? I might have deleted it. I'll look for it another time. We need to see what's going on here. Ugh, it's off by 1. So let's move you. Okay, we're gonna move you back. And if we put you here, do you still have... That's really risky with that one. We would want to put it here. That, yes, that reaches that, and that reaches that. Okay. Sure. Now, does that work? Is it picking stuff up? It looks like it. Yes. It is. It is picking stuff up. I need more food. Alright. Crystal cube, guys. We needed Alf glass, dreamwood, and a corporeal spark. Oh, Darkwing. You didn't have to do that. But thank you for the balanced diet. You want me to do baked potatoes. Okay. Let's grab some Alf glass and some dreamwood. So we can do that. And do I have any potatoes already that I don't have to cook? I do. All right. Great. So the setups I had in my previous playthrough were dependent upon having the chest that they were going into directly below the transmutation item. We don't need to do that this time, but we are going to need probably a repeater. Let's see here. And a comparator. Wrong chest. Red. And then the crystal cube. All right. 1, 2, 3. So to increase that, we'll have to do the detecting the on this side. Oh, which we learned. I learned something in the Floramancer Discord this week that we could utilize here. Which is, do you know how I've been using item frames? Let's do I have clay? Let's smelt some of this up. So, we don't have anywhere to go. So we've got item frames that you can send redstone signal through. Remember, when you turn the dial, it changes the redstone power. But it's limiting in, it can only do 8. Yeah, let's show you. So we've got a comparator signal out of the back, right? Or is it just That should be 0. Yeah, comparator signal. 2. Okay, so it was 1, 2. There should be 3, and so on and so forth. I have no idea how far that goes, but we can only go up to 8 because before it goes back to 1 again. 8. All right, so how do you make it go higher? What I have learned, and this is really cool, is that the, as you can see with there's a new tooltip added by the update, but I learned about this this was a request. Try using with a comparator. Different kinds of plants will give different signals. That's right. Let me bring up the well, crud. Did I not bookmark it? Wiki, there it is. Is there a search for this wiki? I have no idea. Hold it. You can color portals? What? There we go. There's the information. Okay. But anyways, I'll have to check that. You can color nether portals. Okay. Sorry about that. So what we've got here are different signals based on what we put in this pot. And it's not by Botania. It is added by the Inspirations mod. And let me see what I've got as far as plants. I'm not so sure I have a whole lot of what is needed, but let's go over here. See what we have in here. We have a dead bush, that'll be helpful. And anything else in here helpful? Regular flower will be fine. A mushroom. We need to grab some cactus. We need to make a fern. And a sapling. Sapling. I believe this will make a fern. Yep, fern. And let's go grab a cactus, which I have a lot of. So this will give you fine-tuned control beyond 1 through 8. All right? And this is just because of the Inspirations mod. Put a flower pot here. If it's empty, it gives off 0, right? But what if I put a mushroom in it? It gives off a signal of 1. The next one up is a fern. This gives off a signal of 4. All right, this is still within our item frame range, and that's fine, but it's more fine-tuned. A regular flower, any kind of flower, even if it's a Botania flower, will give off a signal of 7. But here's where the wonderfulness lies, in that if I put a dead bush in here, 10, that's already more than an item frame. And better yet, if I put a sapling in here, I get 12. And if I want full power, cactus gives us 15. Yay! So doing our comparator stuff here for comparing how much is in here, turning it on and off. Remember, we've got it's base 2, I want to say. It measures 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, etc., etc., etc. That's how it increments. If we put a comparator flower pot thing here, we should be able to really fine-tune what we want. As a number of Manasteel. Oh, it connects that way. I don't want that. So I would either need to do a PCB or move you the other direction. I could probably just do this, can't I? This is in range of that one though. So what we'll probably want to do is, I think that would work. Wouldn't it? Come on, place. Do I need to place it on top of? Guess so. All right. And if we did, let's do the dead bush or even sapling. Sapling would give me 12. I guess we should start small. The fern would be 4. That gives me 4. Okay. And I'm pretty certain that the corporea doesn't reach over here. We're gonna have to do that. But this is gonna request iron each time. This, I need to get a hourglass on this line. Maybe up here. And for now, we want to do just one red sand. That would be every 10 seconds. Do we want to do, let's do 5 seconds. And if we did it here, would it stop when this goes into it? I'm pretty sure it would, because this would be powered, so it wouldn't trigger any further. Right? Let's configure you for Manasteel, and we'll put, uh-oh, that's a problem. That's a problem. Okay, we need to fix that. Do I have our key on us? I do. And we need so much space because these are all full. There's... We need to throw them back in the system. Do you not turn? Okay then. I have like one space. Maybe you picked up? And why not? Oh boy, this is a mess we didn't want to have to deal with, is it? Because I was flying around probably, and so they don't have accurate numbers. Of course. Go back into the network. Okay, so that should fix it. And we need to key these before we put you down. Key those so that they're locked. Lock you. All right. Now you shouldn't pick up what you shouldn't pick up. We want Manasteel in here.